ladies and gentlemen. You're watching GEEKCASTER. Everything sci-fi, fantasy, geek culture, that's right. You like comics, you like technology, we're going to talk about all that stuff. But today's show is about Halloween and great movies to watch. Today we have in our studio...
the Merc with the mouth, Dayveonne Bussey.
Corey Davis.
Hello, boys and girls.
And I'm Michael Seven. Michael, you're watching GEEKCASTER. Thank you for joining us today. Hopefully you're watching us on cable. If not, you're seeing things online. You can always go to geekcaster.com and our Instagram, which is also GEEKCASTER. All right, guys, so we're going to talk about Halloween-themed movies, okay? As well as horror films, as well as things that make you go boom, stuff like that. So out of all the films that we checked out, which one you guys want to start with?
Let's start with Quarantine 2.
Let's do it. Now, what stood out about Quarantine 2 that made you say that one first?
Because, all right, I saw the first Quarantine, and it takes place as a first-person visual with a first-person camera, and you're basically going through as the main character, like the camera guy to the reporter of this house that's being affected, and they investigate, and everybody's being affected and turn it into these rapey, hungry, zombie-type creatures.
Okay.
Okay.
And you digged it. You liked it.
Yes. Now, as far as part 2 is concerned, I really felt it was a B-rated type film. Probably a C.
Okay.
But what saved the film was the story. It related to part 1. It wasn't its own different story, like its own different scenario or its own different timeline. It actually stayed true to the original. It was just the quality and the visual, whatever budget they had, you could tell a little bit, but the story saved the film.
Okay.
I feel the opposite way.
Okay. Go ahead.
The first one was like, it came out of nowhere basically with this documentary style film, and it was just a sleeper cult classic. The second one was a huge departure from the first, and if you were expecting the same type of film, you necessarily didn't get it. Like you said, the storyline did save it. However, for fans of the first one, this was completely different.
Right. Because because you know they used the what's there, Argentina. They copied from Argentina from the South American version, which was Record.
Oh.
And Record 2 was totally different because I think 2 explained more details about the apartment and what was going on when they had brought the SWAT team in and all that other stuff. Then you had 3, which was pretty much a wedding, and it went from first person to actual movie style.
Okay. Oh. Yeah,
and
I
then
liked
the
it.
final one.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a surprise. I was like, oh, what is this? And then it starts out like, is it? You start questioning, is it a B movie? Because you could usually tell when it's a B, but you couldn't tell at first. And then it started moving, and I was like, oh, I want to know what's happening next. Oh, this is a little enjoyable. So yeah, I would say that's a good place to start. And I would say for Halloween thrills and chills, even though yes, it's not a Halloween film, but it definitely is a horror film for any day that you want to watch something. Now, let me see if I can find the picture that goes along with that, because there are a lot of quarantine-themed films.
Yes.
So I put that up just so people could know this is it, and it was pretty cool. People in the airlines. I'm not gonna give things away, but these pictures, this tells you a little bit what you're gonna see there, and that's it. That's it. Not giving anything else away on that one. So, okay, cool. So what do you guys think next?
Well, I would like Corey to talk about a particular film. And I'm going to sound like Jimmy, so go ahead.
Malignant. Let's talk about Malignant.
Let's do it.
So it was a huge out of the blue movie that came out this year by director James Wan. The first few minutes, you're like, what am I watching? It's like an 80s B movie. And that's the beauty of the movie. It made a lot of homage to like 80s, 70s styles horror films while using modern day camera angles, which was a really good fresh. And the storyline, although we have seen before, it was done in a modernized way with the old school take on it. And that's what I really loved about the film.
Okay. Now this was on HBO?
It was on HBO Max. You know, when you first get a release, they do the theatrical release. They also release it on HBO Max. You have 30 days before it goes away, and you just are only limited to seeing it in theaters.
Gotcha. All right. So now it's a theater thing.
Correct.
Okay. Now you were excited. Now you sound so calm about it now. You love this film.
I love the film. It was so cheesy. The dialogue was great. It had a very monster. The kills, it wasn't gory, but it was very, very refreshing to see it done in this style.
All right, excellent. All right, now, I know there are a couple films that everybody didn't see, but let's just go through one that I think only one of you saw. It was Halloween Kills.
Yes.
Okay.
To me, and I'm probably going to get blasted for it, but I really like Halloween Kills.
Okay.
I like the Halloween on 2018 version. Mm-hmm. It's connected with each other, so I like to explain that to people. So when you see Halloween Kills, it's connected to each other. Okay. But I ain't gonna spoil too many details. But the kills in that film, bruh.
Oh really?
It was realistically, think of John Wick as a horror character.
Okay. That's
high praise.
Yeah, it is, and also now I think about it, not a far departure. I mean, because of the way movies are and everything's high action, the kills have to be. That would make sense if the kills would have to represent that. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And just to let people know, there is some just a little detail because millions of people saw the trailer. Yes, the town actually goes hunting for Michael Myers.
About time.
So, because they're getting sick and tired of him killing people. So,
about time.
You know, Jamie Lee Curtis is in there. They got a lot of past characters that people from watching the old stuff.
Cool. And
overall, I would say story-wise, yes, it's a little shaky. And that's, for what people expectations. Mm. And I have to say, the kills could have been avoided. A lot of those kills could have been avoided.
Okay.
But it was satisfying at the end. It was satisfying. So I would give Halloween Kills a 7.4.
Okay. Well, isn't our scale... it's
out of 5.
Out of 5.
Oh yeah, sorry. I will give it 3.8.
I would give Malignant 4 out of 5 G's.
Cool. And if you like campy and just like silly, I think Saturday the 14th is a nice thing because it's an old film. But it's just one of those, is this serious? Is it sarcastic? Is it a comedy? This is, terrible, but yet cute, but so much of, 70s, borderline 70s, 80s. So, again, popcorn, hanging out. If you're going to watch a whole bunch of films, you could throw this one in between Saturday the 14th, and I think you should enjoy it for what it is.
So I have a question. When Redbox was a thing, you could actually get this from Redbox and say, this was a good watch. Are you saying that about the film?
I think so. I mean, if we had to rate it, I wouldn't rate it that high. But I wouldn't say, when you watch something, in fact, Corey, one of the films I hope we mentioned tonight, where we're like, we enjoyed it, and in the end, we're like, what happened?
Oh, okay.
And in fact, we'll talk about that next. So with Saturday the 14th, this is what I expect. I expect it to be cheesy. I expect it to be what it is, and there's no other expectation. Versus this other film, which I have to mention, called The Empty Man. The Empty Man started out really strong. Oh, wait. I gotta get that, go ahead, Corey, do that move again.
Oh.
The Empty Man started out really strong. And then,
Hard.
Yeah, look at this picture with the skeleton and all these arms and this guy with a flashlight, and you're like, what is this? And oh man,
and then it went poof.
It just it kept turning, and you were going for the ride of the turn, but at some point it was like, what are you doing? Like, where's the premise? Then it was like an after-school special. Like, you could tell the director, the writer, wanted to make this really deep, this deep statement about the world. It was like some sort of mission statement of consciousness and what people are thinking and their emotions. And then the ending, which I will not say, was just like, really? Let me see if I have a close-up camera for myself. Really? What is happening here?
Instead of commentary, it became preachy. That's how you can sum it up.
So it was like this big grenade that everybody, when we're in a trap room, and then next thing you know, it just doesn't explode.
It wasn't even that like that.
Yeah, that would have been acceptable.
It's like you're going on a roller coaster and you go up, and next thing you know, the ride's over. Like, wait, what?
Yeah. And by the way, the actors were good. The actors were phenomenal. I think all the actors were great. They even tried to do this whole urban legend thing randomly in there, which I don't even know why they did that. They didn't have to do that. But anyway, hey, if you feel something different, watch it. And tell us. I'll give that movie, because it had a strong start, automatically out the gate a 1.5. But that ending really turned me off. So I would say a 2. What do you say, Corey?
I would give it, the first 30 minutes is definitely a 4.5 out of 5. And then the rest is like a 0.5. So probably on average, about a 1.5.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's how we feel about it. Did you guys see Monkey Paw?
A long time ago.
Now, which version? Because there's a 2013 version, which is the one that I saw. But I mean, there are versions of Monkey Paw going back all the way to, like, was it the 60s? There's a book. I mean, it's all based on a short horror film, first published in England, collection in 1902. And I don't even know why they describe it that way, because were there any films at that time in 1902? I don't even know why they, but again, this is Wikipedia, but I'm checking that out. But they're based on writings that are based on in 1902. And I can say this because it's no big thing. There's this guy has this monkey paw, and he gives it away. Once you have the monkey paw, once you hold it and make a wish, you're allowed to make 3 wishes. And that's where everything starts. I liked it. There were things wrong with it. But I liked it. What do you
I feel like every iteration of a movie that has to do with the monkey's paw and the 3 wishes are pretty much the same. So you're not really missing out if you've seen some version of this monkey's paw.
So like Wishmaster, similar to Wishmaster?
Yeah, but with a monkey's paw.
Yeah. And it's interesting, every movie that has to do with wishes, they always have this concept of you make a wish, it'll be granted, but once you get it, there's some sort of trick to it. That is consistent. Right, whether it's the Leprechaun series, which we didn't even talk about, maybe we'll leave that for next week. But, I mean, it goes all the way back to Aladdin lamp. You wish for something, you wish for a dog, but then the dog's a killer dog. Like, the dog eats your cat, you know, and then you're like, oh, I want to bring my cat back. You bring the cat back, and then the cat's, you know, talking to you and levitating and, I don't know, eating up all your clothes. Like this, it's weird. You know,
even if you're clear, concise with your intent of the wishes, there's always a loophole.
Right. So what is the lesson there? Like, don't wish for things?
Yeah. Set your own goals. Don't take shortcuts.
Set your own goals. So that's Monkey Paw. Alrighty. Midnight Mass. Did any of you guys see that?
I did not.
Did not.
Okay. Guys, this was nice. This was a nice film. Midnight Mass was nice. Am I too upset with the ending? No. I mean, the beginning was really strong. The middle, I mean, you could always nitpick, but it was all right. It was all right. The concept is cool, especially in this day and age where people don't know what they believe in, or they believe super strong, and you know, you'll have a character kind of represents, I will follow anything kind of blindly, which is interesting. Then you have the characters of no faith. So all the main characters are representative of a section of society, which I thought was really cool. And there was a racism element there too, a racism thing, anti-other religion element there. So I thought it was really, it was a full meal.
So my question is, would you rewatch Midnight Mass or Empty Man?
Midnight Mass.
All right, so we'll watch Midnight Mass.
I would watch that one. You know, and it's interesting, Corey, because you figure, right, a film like Empty Man, where obviously the writer was trying to say a lot, but
it had no execution.
It wasn't a horror movie in the sense of they had a great concept of a villain or a monster, and it just never came to fruition.
Excellently put. That's true. Yeah, because you totally forget about the monster, quote unquote monster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like the writer had so many ideas, and great ideas, mind you, but it's more than one film right there.
Right.
Yeah. And then wanted to say something, you know. It's like, after all that, then you want to say something?
Had he done it right, that would have been an excellent trilogy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because there's so much room to grow. Because he
Right.
put so much stuff in there.
Right.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Now the next film we were going to talk about if we have...
Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're good. I gotta say I had the Night Mask. Go ahead.
All right, next one we're going to talk about is Funhouse.
Dun, 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 dun. Dayveonne put me onto this one. Thank you, Dayveonne.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a very good B movie.
Funhouse?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it. It was really entertaining. It does have a message.
But it reminded me too much of the movie Nerve, if you've seen that. Like, the concepts are very, very close and very similar. Like, the message is the same. It's just Funhouse, the ending, I did not expect the ending whatsoever.
I was a little disappointed with the ending.
I thought it was refreshing. I thought it was good. I mean, the signs pointed that way. I figured that's where it was going. I just didn't see how it was going to get there. And that was very, very enjoyable for me.
Michael?
I liked Funhouse. I thought it was a really good film. I wouldn't even say, is it a message? I don't know. It borderline preachy / vengeance.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like, I guess because we've heard that message before, and we could say it because it doesn't really give anything away with a film, but there is this whole thing of anti-online celebrity, like social media celebrity. influencers, which just need to stop to some degree. Like, it's just people with no value that are famous.
But but the thing about Funhouse is, I think if you're a filmmaker, you can have a very low budget movie, but still with the cinematography and the lighting, make an excellent movie. And Funhouse did that very, very well. Like that execution stuff.
Yeah, excellent. What do you guys think of the message? Because everything else is just gore. I mean, it pretty kind of brings you back to. Squid Games and those type of films. So we don't even have to get into that, watch the movie. But what did you think of the message?
Like you said, it was preachy, and I really feel as though, like, the message was there, but yeah, like Corey said, it's been repeated over and over.
I didn't care for the message, but I did care more about the characters, and they did a very good job of portraying that.
Yeah, that was nice.
Because there was a few characters I wasn't supposed to care about, and I cared about them.
Aww. Aww, that's because you have a heart, Dayveonne. Unlike Corey and myself.
Darn it! Well, I always get hooked up with the ones that's cold-hearted.
Right. Which one was your favorite character? We can answer.
Yeah.
My favorite character, I have to say, the mixed martial arts guy.
Headstone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys see House?
Of Wax? When it
No, just the one House I sent. It's a 2008 film called House. Michael Madsen and Bill Moseley is in it. The guilty cannot hide. House. I thought it was, and there's so many movies with the title House, so that's why I'm putting up the IMDb House 2008, because there's so many things that have that simple title. I like where they were going with it. I do think it's worth watching. But like we've seen this twist before. So it doesn't feel like a home-cooked meal, but again, it's like one of those, like Saturday the 14th, if you just want something to watch, if it's date night and you're gonna watch a couple things, you could throw that in the mix, and I think you'll be fine. Yeah, because it has some cool moments in there, which is nice. Also, one thing I found that was refreshing in the movie House is that you're not just like every other scene killing somebody. Which is actually kind of cool. It actually builds up like what's gonna happen, and versus just you're seeing kill somebody. So I thought that was really cool, and I have to give the writer props for that, because that's not easy to do. It's easier just to say, all right, well, how could we pluck someone's eyes out, kill someone with a chainsaw, and oh my goodness, the door crushed his toes, ha ha ha. They tried to give some preachy moments, like the whole thing of like you can't hide from your sins, and the house will sniff that out. I'll just leave that there, and you'd have to watch it to see.
And can I add one more film in or no?
Oh, sure, definitely.
All right. It's a Netflix film called Vampire versus the Bronx.
Oh, yes.
Oh, is that the new one? That's the newest one, right?
No, this been out last year. I was disappointed. I hated the film. I know where they was going with it, because it was kind of preachy. They was talking about gentrification with it, and I was like, okay. But there were certain elements that the film was missing regards to the vampire lore. Like, there were moments where vampires actually bit certain characters, and they automatically died. And I'm like, that made no sense. If you bite somebody, either you draw blood to the point where you basically drown them from blood, or you bite them and you infect them and make them your goon. And the time frame that they bit them, it was like, okay, you bit, you're dead. And it was like, it made absolutely
Well, you know
no
what?
sense.
They always, this is the loophole I'm seeing. We have a few minutes, and we should do a whole show just on the vampire stuff. I think that'd be great. you know, that I'm seeing a bunch of films trying to change things and doing the whole, well, if you kill the leader, everybody else turns back, you don't turn. Which, kind of like, well, if you got infected, you're infected, you know? So, did they do that for that? I can't remember, because it was a while since I watched that, but was that their loophole?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
No, they just hit somebody and they died.
Wow. You know what? We're gonna pick up with that one. I'm just gonna squeeze in House of Wax, and then we're out. We have like 2-3 more minutes left. But yeah, we're gonna have a whole conversation about that because I don't like that also, Davey. You gotta stay consistent or go out of your way, say you're changing the rules. But quickly, House of Wax, which was a film back in the day, it was all about Paris Hilton being in that film. Yeah. And let me tell you, watching this again, Paris Hilton did a great job for what was given to her.
Right.
But what'd you think of House of Wax?
I remember it being watchable, and I remember it being underrated.
Okay. Yeah.
I just didn't like it because of Paris Hilton.
She did
See,
well.
You gotta give the movie a chance, man.
Yeah.
You have to watch. Don't watch it with all these expectations. Like, if you're gonna think about where the movie is going and all these other things, you're going to miss out on the enjoyment.
No, but I did see the film. I just hated it because of Paris Hilton. But if I take Paris Hilton out the equation, the film was really good. It had a lot of potential.
But she did
but
well,
she was
though.
Good.
She
was
was
good.
one of the best actors in it.
Right? Exactly. Surprisingly.
That's funny.
Exactly. You came in with those expectations, like, oh, this is Paris Hilton and blah, 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 and that took you out of the movie.
Wow.
Yes. I'm sorry, audience. It's Paris Hilton.
Well, I think Corey summed up how I felt about it. That movie definitely was underrated. The only issue was just the house at the end. It was like, really? And you have to watch it to see that. Don't want to give that away. But quickly, I would give that one a 3.5, comfortably. I'll give it
I originally would give it a 3 out of 5, but I don't see 3.5 being bad either. So okay. I can agree to 3.5.
Cool. All right. Give everybody your social media.
Dayveonne Bussey on Instagram and Facebook, and just your Marl Williams on Twitter.
You can find me, Corey Davis, at IamGT3 on all of the things.
Cool. You're watching GEEKCASTER. I'm Michael7Michael on IG, and you can always find us at GeekCaster.com or GeekCaster on IG.
You know what?